how are things sitting with the 23 class, 24 class? How are you guys feeling about some of the situations?
Yeah, good. I mean, there's a lot of change right now, and there's a lot going on. So we're still on a daily basis, hourly, things are changing, and so we're just working through all of those things. But at the end of the day, it still comes down to relationships, and it still comes down to putting a plan together for each of their recruits and their families. So when they get here, the focus is on development in all areas. So, but there's certainly a lot of more dynamics at play than there were last year.
With your, I mean, you have CJ, Kyle, Devin, like 3, 4, 5-star, whatever. How does that change your philosophy? I know you'd like to bring in one of those top tier guys every year. Does that change your philosophy because of how stacked the quarterback room is?
We try to go recruit the best players in the country every year, and I mean, the goal is that if you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. So the guys who are highly competitive, jump into it 2 feet.
Right, can you touch on that changes you're talking about? I mean, is it we're not out there recruiting, because I'm not, but is it Wild Wild West like we're talking, like it's been portrayed, and what do you see coming down the road that's going to change it?
Well, I think there's risk everywhere. There's risk if you do nothing, you get left behind. If you go the other end, there's risk that you get fired for cause, for crossing the line. So finding that sweet spot is where the challenge is right now. And when there aren't clear-cut rules or rules that are being enforced, then it creates hard feelings and unrest. And I think that's where we are right now.
You feel you're not allowed to give inducements, NIL, anything about it. But it's happening. You don't know what's happening. How hard is it to compete with that and deal with that when it's going on?
Well, yeah, it's a challenge because there are rules in place that right now are not being enforced. So it does create hard feelings. And so, again, that's kind of where we are right now, is finding our way in that in those battles.
Do you want there to be more rules and more enforcement?
Well, I think we all do much better when it's black and white, and it's gray. And so I think the easy thing to do is throw up your hands and complain, but we're going to adapt and figure out a way to make it work for our state.
Tony Alford said that you might have something to announce on Marcus Crowley. Kind of what's his status right now?
Yeah, so Marcus, we met with his family last night. We're going to be doing a medical red shirt for Marcus. He has a long-term injury there. And, he really wants to finish his degree and still be a part of the program, which he will. But he suffered a significant injury, and so he's got a medical red shirt.
So will he not be returning to the field?
Right. That's right. Yep.
And Mitchell Melton, Jim Knowles said that it's probably going to be tough for him to come back. Just kind of what do you see as the prognosis there?
For who? From
Mitchell Melton.
Yeah, that'll be another long term. It was an ACL, and we don't get into too many of those things. But when it's a long term injury like that, so he'll be on the road to recovery. And we saw him earlier today with his family. And it's hard when you embrace these injuries, because it's going to be a long road back, and that's why it was so important that have Adam still be a part of the program, because he's a big part of their lives and their recovery and their rehab, and he's the best in the business. So the good news is we have great resources, and these guys are in good hands. The negative is it's a long road back to recovery. So